That tong to tong tong tong. Jonah Tong. Let's go. Jonah Tong. 8 strikeouts, 5 innings. What an outing for King Tong on Thursday at Citi Field as the Mets defeated the Padres 6-1. And boy, was this a big win for the Mets. After what happened Wednesday, where they kind of chipped away, they got back in it, but the reality was that Machado's grand slam was the difference in the game. They really needed to take this series, and we had a lot of questions going into Thursday's game. Does it make sense to start Jonah Tong? Like, is he ready? And he said, "Shut up." He said, "Hi, haters. I'm ready." And he was fantastic. And he probably could have went out for the sixth too. I'm good either way. I think maybe it's good they pulled him, so they leave him feeling good about himself. But what an outing. Bullpen was great, and Brandon Nimmo came up with a massive home run. Pete Alonso, a home run in 4 straight games. Alonso is getting hot just when the Mets need him to. And tong to tong, tong, tong. Man, this guy might have earned himself another start. Now, the Mets are in an interesting spot here. Tong might have earned himself another start. But Kodai Senga pitching tonight for Syracuse, as I'm recording this Thursday night, pitched really well. Senga, I'd imagine, is coming back next week. Listen, Syracuse season ends on Sunday. So Senga, I think, is going to be back next week. Maybe he takes Tong's spot and Tong goes to the bullpen. Maybe they go with 6 men. Maybe they do a couple of piggybacks. Maybe they do a Tong Senga piggyback, which I could see working as well. But like I've said, piggyback's going to be a thing here. But wow, what a performance from him. And this Mets offense need to continue with these timely hits, need to continue with these home runs. That's going to be the key for this team if they want to get in and have success. But things getting interesting now, guys. Things are getting very interesting in the wild card race. You know, the Mets 2 up on Arizona with the win. Arizona was off Thursday as I'm recording this. The Dodgers play the Giants tonight, and the Reds are playing the Cubs right now. So we'll see what happens with those scores. But you took a series against a good team, a playoff team, and Tong pitched well against a playoff team and a really good lineup in those San Diego Padres. So that's it. Going into the final homestand now. Let's go, baby. The Nationals come to town. The Mets' final 3 home games as the Nats, the worst team in that National League East, come to town. You're watching Mets Daily. I'm your host, Jake Brown, at Jake Brown Live. Make sure you hit that follow on X, on Instagram, on TikTok, and subscribe to my YouTube at Jake Brown Live. You can scan this code to become a Mets Daily Insider for just $5 a month, cheaper than a cup of coffee. We gave away tickets on X yesterday to the game today on Thursday. So shout out to our winner of that. Thank you for subscribing to Mets Daily. We appreciate it. And, you know, this is an important series. 1, it's important because they need to win games. 2, these are divisional games. Divisional games are extra important right now because the tiebreaker against the Diamondbacks will be determined by their divisional record if it's better than the Diamondbacks record versus the NL West. And these are 3 winnable games. Like 2 out of 3 would be nice, but I think you really got to sweep this weekend. And you got Sproat, you got McLean, and Sunday it'll likely be the Holmes Mania piggyback again, which worked great the other night. So, you know, you like who you're throwing this weekend. Sproats look good, McLean's looked great, and the Holmes Mania duo has looked good. So I think you got to aim for a sweep for those divisional wins, for the wins in general, because, you know, you lose one of the Nationals and let one of these other teams get back in it. That's not good. That is not what you want. Again, the Giants playing the Dodgers for a 4-game set. So that began Thursday. The Cubs and Reds began a 4-game set Thursday. So that's a huge series. Mets fans for Cubs in that one. The Brewers play the Cardinals. The Cardinals still somewhat in the race as they're hanging by a thread there. You know, they could be eliminated soon, but they are still in it as of now. And the Diamondbacks will be home against the Phillies. It's Mets fans for Phillies. How about that? We are rooting for the Phillies, but, you know, this is big for the fans too. You know, the Mets have been so good at home. 3 million fans in the building. We've talked about it a lot. The capacity has been sensational. You know, they're averaging 93, 94% full. They're getting 40. You know, the tickets sold is 41,000 almost plus almost every game. So this is a big weekend for the Met fans. You know, this is a fan base that's really been through the thick and thin supporting this team through the roller coaster ride, especially in the second half. And they owe it to the fans to come out and play great. Friday night, they're giving away a pop-up home run apple. That's a fun little giveaway. Saturday, a long sleeve t-shirt. And Sunday is family Sunday in the final home game. It sucks that Sunday could be the final home game. If the Mets get in, all 3 games, if it gets to 3 for the wild card, would be on the road, likely in Los Angeles. So, come out this weekend, support the team for a potential final time. I think it's been a frustrating team, but, we've supported all year, so why not? Mets fans should be really proud of themselves for what they've done this year in kind of changing the culture and making this a real home field advantage. Mets have been so much better at home, and it's not just because the team's playing better. The fans show up, and they're playing hard for this fan base in front of them. 48-30 at home, one of the best home records in the game, and at one point that was a lot better. But, come on out, support them, and Mets, play hard for the fans. Like, if this is it, it's been a fun season. It's been a frustrating one, but it's been fairly fun. And, we hope we see you again in the National League Division Series. Like, I don't want to start Monday's show and saying, all right, that's the last time we're at Citi Field. I might go Sunday, haven't decided yet, but I'm really hoping Sunday's not the last home game. But if it is, I'm looking forward to next year at home with this young staff and the guys you're seeing this weekend in Sproat and McLean, who look like locks to be part of next year's rotation. So you get a sample of what next year might look like, but let's not talk about that yet because we want to go on a postseason run. And, I get asked a lot in here in my live streams, who's starting the postseason? I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We still got to get to the postseason, but it's worth discussing who starts the potential 3 playoff games in Los Angeles in the wild card. Now, for the Dodgers, you're going to have to face Blake Snell, which is not going to be easy in the slightest. So that's not good. But for the Mets, I think Nolan McLean might have earned himself a Game 1 start. Now, it's going to depend how the days here line up. The playoff. So let's just play it. Let's play it by year for now. So Friday, you got Sproat, Saturday McLean, Sunday Holmes, Manaea. So if McLean is to go Saturday, then that leaves Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. He goes Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That means he likely would go if he went Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, then he can go Game 1. So if Sproat went Saturday, which he has 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 days. If he goes Thursday on 4 days rest, normal rest, that's against the Cubs. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. He would be good to pitch Game 1. Then Game 2. So Manaea, Holmes goes Sunday. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. They go Friday. 1, 2, 3, 4. Manaea, Holmes would be set up to go Game 2. So I think there's a chance here, if we're looking at the playoffs, it's Game 1, Nolan McLean. Game 2, the Manaea, Holmes piggyback. And then Game 3, I think, is up for grabs. I think Game 3, you could see Peterson Senga. You could see Peterson Tong. I think they'd be comfortable more with Peterson Senga. But Peterson's been tough to trust. So Game 3, I think, is up for grabs. But the way it's shaping up with this schedule, guys, I'm starting to think McLean might go Game 1, which is crazy because he just got called up, but he's looked so good. And Game 2, we see the Manaea Holmes piggyback. And you just got to hope the Mets win one of those and can send it to a do-or-die Game 3. Game 1, 2, 3 of the wild card is September 30th, Tuesday, October 1st, October 2nd. So 3 straight days, no off day. And then the divisional series would begin on that Saturday, October 4th. So that's what I think it would look like. Like I said, McLean, Manaea, Holmes, piggyback situation, and then Game 3, I think all hands on deck. Like you might see guys go 2 innings, 2 innings, 2 innings, 2 innings. Diaz go 2 innings, and then find a way to win. But exciting times here. Last Saturday we were at rock bottom, and we thought the season was over. All it took was 2 wins and then a series win to get us 3 of your last 4 to kind of get us back in a little mojo. Now you can't lay flat on your face against the Nationals. This is a critical weekend. Take care of business, sweep, and then on Monday we could start talking about magic numbers and this team being a legit playoff team. But you lose 2 out of 3 or get swept by the Nationals, people are going to be laughing at you again. Critical series. All right, folks, show up. We'll see you at Citi Field. I might go Sunday. If not, enjoy if you're going. Cheer on the boys one final time maybe this season. But, let's not put that even in the air. Let's be back for the divisional series. Let's go Mets. Let's go McLean. Let's go Sproat. Let's get these W's. Hit that subscribe. Smash that thumbs up on this video. Appreciate support of Mets Daily. We'll take you all the way through the playoffs and even through the offseason right here on Mets Daily, everybody. Enjoy the weekend series. Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching.